So, welcome to my end of college football season mock draft, as you could call it. I know there's one more game of college football season, national championship game. And for this video, I am going to that game, by the way, on Monday. And I'm not going to be making a video from it. I want to actually enjoy the game. But if Georgia wins, I will take a video of like my reaction and everything. I'll post that on YouTube. And if you guys haven't seen already, go check out this video that I did. If you guys haven't seen it already, it is this one right here, my video from Georgia Ohio State. I went to that game. It's already got 1,000 views in 3 days. Like, my other videos get nothing like that. So that's pretty crazy. So if you guys haven't seen the video already, go check it out. I think it's pretty good. But without further ado, let's get started. So we got my Houston Texans picking at number 1. And pick has not changed. It's still Bryce Young. He balled out in the ball game against Kansas State. I mean, I've never been the biggest Bryce Young fan. Not because I don't think he's good, it's because I'm a Georgia fan. He plays for Alabama. But it was cool, and yeah, I was happy for him. Like, just kind of watching him, like, sort of take his last snap. Like, all his teammates hugging him and everything. That looked pretty cool. And honestly, I felt happy for him. But hope he enjoyed his time at Alabama, because he's headed to the Texans number 1, and I can guarantee you he'll probably enjoy that significantly less for the next few years. But speaking of Alabama players, probably going to enjoy Alabama a little bit more than the NFL. Will Anderson. I thought he was the best player in this class for a while. Insanely talented edge rusher. Not a whole lot more to say here, other than this guy's probably one of the best edge talents that we've seen in a while. I think he's better than Aiden Hutchinson. It's not even close, just in my opinion. Now the guys ranked number 1 on this big board, Jalen Carter. As a Georgia fan, I love this guy, and he's been compared to Aaron Donald as the best interior defensive lineman since Aaron Donald. I can see that. It's very, very rare that you see an interior defensive lineman who can rush the passer. Like, that is not very common. I mean, they might be able to rush the passer, but this dude he gets pressure on the quarterback very, very quickly. But now, this is kind of a no doubt for me. I originally had Keely Ringo going here, but after J.J. Watt retired, and hope he enjoys retirement as a Texans fan, said he never got to win a ring, but I actually met him once. That dude is absolutely huge. Like, I was like 7, and I was just like... But that's a story for another day. But pick number 4, I'm going to go Myles Murphy out of Clemson. I think he's the best, second best edge rusher in this class. Best edge rusher is still available. So that's why I got to go with him there. Next quarterback, CJ Stroud. I got to say, I was wrong about CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is actually a great quarterback. I think the reason why I didn't think he was like really that good because he never had to do anything. I mean, if he could just check the ball down to his receivers all game against Rutgers and Indiana, why not? Like, why wouldn't you do anything else? So when he actually had to play a good team, he finally stepped up, which he's never done before. So good for him. But yeah, he looked really, really, really good against Georgia. I think having Marvin Harrison Jr., like when he got knocked out of the game, he really struggled because he was like really doubting himself after that. But he still, I don't know, his ability to like get out of the pocket and sort of like evade pressure, which he had never really done before, impressed me. So I always thought he was overrated, but he still might be a little bit, but I don't really think so. I think he's the real deal. I'm still taking Bryce Young over him, but I got to give CJ Stroud credit because I really haven't before. Now this is where Keely Ringo is going, and I'm before going, torched by Marvin Harrison Jr. No, he didn't. I saw a stat that said that CJ Stroud, on all of his throws, aside from one throw that was batted down and 2 passes that were thrown away, when he targeted Keely Ringo, 6 for 13, 60 yards and a touchdown. When he targeted other guys, 12 for 13, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm just saying that Keely Ringo is not the one getting torched. The Falcons here, I think I want to go Brian Brzee. You could really go either one, Tyree Wilson, Brian Brzee. I'm going to go Brian Brzee. I think he's kind of like Jalen Carter in a way that he's a big interior defensive lineman who can rush the passer. And if you want to be entertained, go watch this guy's high school football highlights. I found out about this guy in high school. They're insane. This is probably going to surprise a ton of you guys, but I have at number 8, the Raiders taking Will Levis. They just benched Derek Carr. And I don't think he's definitely not coming back next year. Like, he's not coming back, trust me on that. So I think they go out and get the 3rd best quarterback in the draft, Will Levis. Do I think he's a little bit overrated? Yes, but he still has the physical skills to be an NFL quarterback. He just has got to put it all together. So at number 9, I have Quinn Johnston. Where is he? There he is, Quinn Johnston. Going to the Carolina Panthers. I think he's going to be a problem for Georgia on Monday. I really do. I don't think he's quite as good as Marvin Harrison Jr. is, but this dude can ball. I mean, you saw him against Michigan. He's like 6'5", 225. Insanely fast. Great route runner. Uses his body very, very well. I think he's easily the top receiver in this draft class. Now, this is where I have Tyree Wilson going to the Eagles. This guy shot up draft boards, and for good reason. His potential is really, really high. And he's sort of somebody who can rush as an edge rusher and also rush through the middle as well. So you can kind of put him anywhere on the D-line. The Eagles they have a pretty good D-line, but it's aging. So I think just trying to get some youth there would be a good idea. You could go plenty of different ways with this. You could take Jordan Addison. You could take Paris Johnson Jr. I'm going to go Jordan Addison. They really need a receiver. Treylon Burks is not going to be an NFL #1 receiver like Jordan Addison can be. Jordan Addison's skill ceiling is about here. Treylon Burks is about here. So you drafted Burks with the first-round pick last year. Probably wasn't the best idea. You should have just kept A.J. Brown, but you didn't, so you got to move on from that. Now draft a receiver who has the potential to be as good or even better than A.J. Brown. Just an idea. Now this is where I have Paris Johnson Jr. going. He was another guy I saw at the Georgia-Ohio State game, and he was, when I was there, I just kind of realized like just how freaking big these guys are. He is huge. I mean, let me see how big this guy is exactly. But I saw him. Let's see, he is. Let's see how what he's listed as, because this dude is. They say 6'6", 310. I thought he'd be weigh a little bit more, but I guess he is kind of on the slim side for an offensive lineman. But 6'6", yeah, I believe that. That dude is massive. But yeah, no, he was doing pretty well all night. All of their pressure Georgia was getting was through the middle with Jalen Carter and Mikael Williams. So yeah, the Texans need a right tackle. They already have Laremy Tunsil, the left tackle, and please extend him. You got 3 first-round picks for him. He's one of the best offensive tackles in the NFL. So please extend him. You can get Paris Johnson Jr. to play on the right. Now, next for the Jets, Trenton Simpson, Noah Sewell, which you guys have thought about going with here. But I'm going to go Peter Skoronski. Offensive tackles, the Jets, Mekhi Becton, they need to move on from him. The he's really, really good, but he's just way too injury prone. So I wouldn't keep taking chances on him. I would just trade him. I would at least not pick up his 5th-year option, but I'd probably trade him while he still has value before he gets hurt again. But Mekhi Becton's a good player, but like I said, just move on from him. Skoronski's pretty good. He can also play as an interior lineman as well, which, I mean, that's good, but you shouldn't really need him to. Commanders, I could go so many ways this pick. I could go Christian Gonzalez. I could go quarterbacks like Anthony Richardson. But I think I'm going to go Joey Porter Jr. I think Joey Porter Jr. is the second best corner in this draft right now over Christian Gonzalez or Cam Smith. I think Gonzalez is a little overrated. I saw him play at Oregon this year. Wasn't too impressed, if I'm being honest. But I know that it's like, oh, he's got the size, he's got all this stuff. But I watched him play, and I've seen him play in other games here. I've just not been very impressed with him. Is he a good player? Yes. And that's who I'm going right here, by the way. So I should probably stop talking shit on him. Because I still think he's a good player, but I don't think he's a top 10 prospect in this draft. And JPJ, Joey Porter Jr.? He's the son of Joey Porter, so if he's on the board here, he's definitely going right here. And Joey Porter's a former Steelers linebackers, I think linebackers coach. I'm not 100% sure on that. But very, very good physical corner, very fast. And so yeah, that's why I'm going at 15 or 14 now. Christian Gonzalez at 15. Green Bay Packers, this is where they break the streak of not taking a running back, tight end, or wide receiver in the first round. I've been going Michael Mayer. Will they probably take somebody like, I don't know, Jared Verse or somebody else? Probably. But we're going to think about this logically and not like we're the Packers GM. And we're going to say Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. I think he's the best tight end in this draft class, and I don't really think Robert Tonyan is a true tight end #1 in the NFL. Detroit Lions, this is where they take Anthony Richardson. He's a 1 to 2 year project quarterback. Remember, this guy's a 1-year starter in the SEC. When you watch him, you can tell that the talent is there, but he has been inconsistent at times, especially when he's playing better teams, but he's never had much to work with either. So you see that the talent is there. I would love to see this guy playing like Georgia's offense. That's why I was hoping he'd stay another year and transfer to Georgia, because I would love to see him in Georgia's offense. But he's going to the NFL. He's a 1 to 2 year project. Do not start this guy right away. It will not go well. That's why you keep Jared Goff, keep paying him his really, really overpriced contract, and just let this guy develop. And trust me, he'll be a good quarterback if you give him the proper with proper tools to develop and give him time. I'm pretty confident about that. But if you make him start right away, you're going to ruin him. Now, at number 18 of the Seahawks, I'm going to go with Cam Smith out of South Carolina. I know a lot of people are comparing him to J.C. Horn, and you should probably be able to see why. He's not a J.C. Horn. He's not really that similar of a player. I mean, they're kind of similar in a way, considering they play similar, but they're not the same player. Cam Smith, J.C. Horn is like that. He's big. He's physical. Cam Smith is more he can play zone. He has great ball skills, great ball hawker. He can be physical at times, but he's not always going to match up against the top wide receiver, and that's why he's going to the Seahawks, because they got Tariq Woolen to do that for him. Jaguars, I so badly want to go to Jackson Smith and Jigba, but I think they need help in the secondary. I'm going to go Clark Phillips. I think this guy was the best corner in the entirety of college football this year. I saw him play multiple times at Utah, and I wanted to meet him so bad, but I never got to, which kind of sucks. But yeah, only knack against him is that he's short. So what? I mean, I get that me and him are like the same size, or not the same size, same height. He's definitely bigger than I am, but I think he's like 5'9", so he's about an inch taller than I am. But in the NFL, people are going to be like, oh, that's too short and all this. He can just slot in as a slot corner, great in man coverage. He's not going to get beat by the other team's top receiver. Yeah, no, I'm confident about this guy. A lot of people I think would probably want to go Hendon Hooker or some other else here. I'm going to go Bijan Robinson. I think that Leonard Fournette's days in Tampa are numbered. Rashad White's a decent running back, but he's not a full-time starter. Bijan Robinson is one of the best running back prospects we've seen since Saquon Barkley, I have to say. So picking him this high is definitely justified. New England Patriots, this is where Jackson Smith and Jigba goes. I think he personally should have played in that game. I'm so glad he did not, because if he does play, they might beat us. And when I say might, they probably do beat us. But thank God he opted out. So I'm going at 21, and I have another receiver here going at 22, and that's Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. He's sort of like the one-year wonder at a great season, won the Blitnikoff Award, ridiculously fast, great hands. So you just really hope that translates. And the Giants, they really need a receiver like that. So I think he'd be a good player to pick here. Baltimore Ravens, because they could really use a receiver. They could really use a lot of stuff, if I'm being honest. I know it's kind of being mean to them, but I'm going to go Jared Verse. I think getting some youth up front. I know they took David Ajabo last year. So just give more youth in that front seven. Justin Houston's a good player, but he's like 34. So I don't really count on him being around too much longer, but he's having a great year. But Jared Verse I really do like as a player. He's like a chance from like Albany or somewhere like that, somewhere really small, and he really broke out this year at Florida State. Now I have Broderick Jones going here at number 24. He's actually the 24th ranked prospect on this board, and I'm going at 24. He's another guy out of Georgia that I really like. I think he's a very talented player. So one thing that I like about him is I don't think he gave a single sack all year. I think he was one of the players that did not give a single sack all year. Another Georgia guy I got going here, Darnell Washington. I've said this so many times about him, and I know that I think he hurt his ankle, so I really hope he can play the national championship game because he is a great run blocker. He is 6'7", 275 pounds, and is fast. If some offense can find a way to utilize him well, he'll be a star. It's that simple. Like, players of his size and his skill set don't come around often. I don't think I can even find somebody to compare him to, if I'm being completely honest. So this pick, I'm thinking Devin Witherspoon is probably going to be the pick here. They could try and get some youth, the receivers like Josh Downs, but I gotta go Nolan Smith. I think Zadarius Smith's having a good year. Get another Smith up front. Nolan Smith, he tore like his rotator cuff or something like that, or he tore like a muscle over here. That's why he hasn't been playing. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, he was, in my opinion, Georgia's best player for like 4 years. They're not the best player, but he was the most consistent until he got hurt this year. But yeah, no, he can come off the edge. He can play linebacker. He can do whatever. He's really fast too. He's a great athlete. This is where I have Brian Branch going. I didn't really think too highly of Brian Branch, and then I watched Alabama's bowl game. The dude had 14 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and an interception in one game. Yeah, I'm done doubting this guy. He completely balled out. What I saw was enough to be like, all right, yeah. Because everybody was telling me, like, Brian Branch is good. Like, what do you have against them? And I didn't really know, if I'm being honest. But I thought he was more of like I didn't think he was as good of a pass. I didn't think it was good of like a pass coverage safety. But he showed me you can do anything. So I got to give him some credit. I'll put him here at 27. Number 28, I have Isaiah Foskey to the Denver Broncos. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they need help on offense. Their defense is fine. I mean, yeah, kind of, but they could really use some edge rushing help. They just got rid of Bradley Chubb. So, I think bringing in or drafting Isaiah Foskey. You could also go with B.J. Ojolari, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, Andre Carter, even Zach Harrison. He's pretty good. Kind of whatever you want, but I think Foskey's the best out of all of them. Now that's where I have Jahmyr Gibbs going at 29. Let's have a shot at my door real quick. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's second best running back in the draft. He just declared for the draft from Alabama. Transferred from Georgia Tech, was a one-year starter at Alabama. Very fast, very shifty, can catch passes out of the backfield. I think him and James Cook will be a nice little running back duo. And this is where I was kind of like, which would I go with? Like, yeah, B.J. Ojolari. I like Darnell Wright, Matthew Bergeron, Cody Mogg, Jalen Duncan. But I think a receiver could really help them here. I'm going to go Josh Downs. B.J. Ojolari was probably going to be my second choice, but I think Josh Downs is a great route runner. I think he would really fit well in that Kansas City Chiefs offense. He's not Tyreek Hill. I'm not asking him to be Tyreek Hill, but he does have sort of a similar skill set, just not quite as fast as Tyreek Hill. This is where you could definitely go with the running back in this spot. I'm not going to. Miles Sanders has been really, really good. D-line, I don't really think is that big of a need. I'm going to go safety. I'm going to go Antonio Johnson. So this is actually the last pick of the first round. But I'm going to get, since for some reason you can pick somebody here. I don't know why, but I'm going to give the Texans a player. I'm going to go B.J. Ojolari. So I'll say my draft order. B.J. Ojolari, he's actually the brother of Azeez Ojolari from, he went to Georgia. He plays for the Giants. I think they're both really, really good, really, really great players. But so this is my draft board. Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Miles Murphy, C.J. Stroud, Keely Ringo. I'm not going to read them all out, but I'll just quickly scroll through here. So yeah, this is my first round mock draft at the end of the college football season and before the last week of the NFL regular season. So hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video.